So I'm out here at a job today in Gymea. Basically you can see this leading cable here. It's an old Telstra one. It's hanging really low. Now the guy's been on to NBN and Telstra and they're basically refusing to replace it. He's been on Optus cable, this one here, for quite a while, and NBN's coming. So he's asked us if we can just get a leading cable. So we're going to put in a new one from here to the pole here, but the actual joint is up in a pole, up on that pole up there. Right, so we are going to get it to here, and then there's like a little connection box on there where NBN can connect onto the cable that's running back there. Now this cable was just a single pair cable, it's really old, so we're going to take a leading cable all the way through into a little room in his house where he's going to want to put all his data cables are going to come back to eventually, and we're going to put a socket directly on the end of that leading cable so that way when he gets his fibre to the curb service there'll be no bridge taps, nothing in the way, and then if there's ever any problems with his NBN, it'll always be an NBN network issue, it'll never be anything inside his house. So get into the job now. So I'm up here on my ladder, all the way down there, and when there was some sort of a truck that hit that cable at some stage apparently, but this was all bent. This is all bent forward and hanging out here. This is like the bar that goes underneath, and you can see maybe here that's bolted down onto one of the timbers. Now that was all bent, so I've had to re-bend that so it's sort of up on the same angle as those ones there for the electricity. So now next step is got the leading cable here. Let's reach out and grab it. So I'm going to chop this leading cable here, and I'm going to tape my new leading cable to it, and I'm going to go in the ceiling and I'm going to pull the leading cable through the new one to this end, so we know how much we need for the socket, and then we can start connecting it up outside. So I'll chop this sucker. Right. And I'm going to tape mine new cable to the end of this. So you can see here the old leading cable here and my new one taped through in the ceiling, and I've just pulled that through because I found the old one, so it makes life easier. So up in the closet where they want to have the socket, now this wall here on that outside is right in the it's the end of the house, and the one above here there's no room to get a drill in there to drill down through the timber to get into this wall. So I've had a chat with the customer, and we're going to put it in the ceiling and mount it up like this, otherwise we'd have to take tiles off and it's going to extend the job and cost a lot more. So this option it should be fine. We're just going to go up through the ceiling and mount the socket directly to the ceiling there, and bingo, now we've got our leading cable hole here. We'll connect that up to a socket, and then that's connected directly to the network. So now on this end I've got my the leading cable connected to its little thingamajig here, I can't remember what you call them, and now I've got to string this across to the pole. So now I've got my socket on there, and we've put a double on there because the other one is going to have a data cable running downstairs which are going to come back at a later date and put on. So yeah, we asked for a double, so that's the socket. And now I've put my my knot on here on the leading cable, just going to get it over the hook. Right, and then that's on. Now you've got like a little box here, and there's another 2 pair here that runs back to the joint, and there's only one other customer on it, and they've got a pretty old leading cable here too. So hopefully they'll just be able to connect him up to one of these pairs, and that should get him going with NBN. Then I'll leave a loop at the end of his cable, coiled up for NBN, ready to go.